I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin. I'm here with all of my new friends from the Digits Club pre-sale. We will do the first AMA session where we first cover the coin market cap, some of the interesting projects, and thereafter we'll turn it into an AMA where we basically look at projects together, answer any questions, whatever is trending, whatever's interesting. I'll do a screen share. I'll just need to close off some of the tabs that I have open, if you guys know what I mean. No, I'm just joking. I'm at work. All right, let's go to CoinMarketCap. Everybody can see this? And when I say everybody, I mean Loris. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see this? Because I basically only see your face. Yep. All right, there we go. So market down a little bit, Bitcoin recovering up and down, volatile movement. I'm not into the TA. I have no clue how that works. But what I do understand is with Bitcoin keeping up and down based on all kinds of matters that influence this coin, we have some turbulence in the market, right? Until we move back to a straight upward trend, there will be some shakiness. My favorite tool to look at is the Greed and Fear Index, right? It's basically what I check every single day just to have an understanding where it's moving. Basically, Bitcoin in an uptrend will basically mean green. Bitcoin in a downtrend will basically mean red. Gives you a good point of where we're at, and you can basically analyze that pattern globally. This is one of the most basic things you can look at, and I would recommend everybody to consider. Obviously, nothing on this training nor this video is financial advice. We're just a couple of buddies having fun, entertainment, right? But I am more so interested in what's basically happening in my favorite section, which is definitely the gaming, right? There have been some interesting opportunities. So for anybody who participated in Ducky Land, the private sale was completed, but the IDO thereafter, basically the last round before the listing, got delayed until February, which means the TGE will happen end of February, which is unfortunate, but that's all part of the game with the current market conditions. I don't believe that postponing projects has an extreme benefit. Monkey Ball did really well on the actual launch in a downtrend, but we'll just have to work with it, right? If we look up Monkey Ball, I said the team was shit, and I still believe the team is not as great as it could be. And I do believe it went down quite a bit from the original point. Yes. So everybody was like, oh, Colin, you're just talking shit. This project is great. And I'm like, it's all good, guys. It's all love. And then what happened? Oh, sad. I was right. And I'm usually wrong. So I was happy that this time I was right. When we look at something like Nineko, probably want to pick that one up first, right? Everybody's been quite hyped. I'm a take profit kind of guy. So I know you guys are all diamond handing this shit. Not me. I'm a paper hand. When I'm talking about flips, I'm talking about getting in within 24, 48 hours, I'm out, right? This one, I got out too early. So I missed on quite some profits. I got in, well, it's not even on the 7-day chart anymore. Let's push it like so. So I got in right here, right? Basically, I got in. I told the pre-sale one people I was getting in, and everybody could take an entry at about 5 to 6 cents. Most people took their entry. Then, oh, hang on, I need to let some people in. Oh, I need to stop the screen share for all good. 1 second, guys. People are waiting. Yeah, there we go. So basically, at this point, can you guys see the Zoom? It's so annoying. There's so many tabs. And now I can see the chat and I can see the participants. All right, and we're back. So 5 to 6 cents, we got in here. I did ride the wave a little bit, but I sold basically here already. Then I took another entry, I think at about 7.5 somewhere. I was watching this chart on PoolCoin at that time. But I didn't exit at around, not even below 20, I think 17.5 somewhere here. And obviously then it made like a huge pump. Could you foresee that pump? Yes, no, I don't know. I don't read the charts. However, after that, I didn't get in anymore. I made the video for Nineko. They sent me some free NFTs. I'm going to hand those out to the people who like this project. Am I going to play it? Obviously not. Do I think it has potential? Sure. This market cap, I don't believe is correct. I spoke with somebody from Nineko. They said it's about, somebody in the Discord mentioned it was about 4 million. They confirmed it, that it's just over 4 million. Yet it doesn't matter that much. It's still super micro cap, right? Is it now in a downward trend? Yes, obviously. If it goes from 5 cents in 1 week to 30 cents, which is basically 6-7x, right? No matter how good your TA is, every dickhead can understand that that would follow a downward trend thereafter, right? After such a crazy pump. And that is one thing I would want to stress, just so everybody makes sense. People keep asking me like, oh, what is your entry? I'm sharing some of my entries, but I'm not sharing all the exits because it's just too much work trying to keep everybody up to date. But the same thing is with, well, you can see what I've been browsing, right, in terms of projects. The same thing with MCRT, Magic Craft, 2.7. I think I got out 3.8. So I got in at 3, I left at 3.8, which is like 2 days ago. After the drop, I bought it back in, but now it's quite stable. I don't think it will do much before something like a KuCoin announcement. So if you're holding this at this point, in my opinion, the only right thing to do is hold it a little bit more, because the pump, basically, when I got in here and I made the video, obviously this wave, that initial 10x, was where we are. And people keep asking me as well, what is the next project? What is the next project? I will let you know when the next project is there. These things take time, right? You just find them. If I would be able to find them on a daily basis, I would not make these videos for you guys. I would just do that consistently. But the opportunity will come. It just takes a lot of research and obviously luck, right? Somebody recommended Magicraft on Telegram to me. I didn't look at it for like 2 weeks. I didn't even participate in the IDO. It was in my Excel sheet. I picked it up once I needed to record some videos, and it turned out to be a great opportunity, right? So the opportunities are definitely out there. You just got to try and find them. Briefly touching upon Soul Chicks, that project, in my opinion, in terms for investing, is dead. I would not invest into it for the pump opportunity. The reason being is it's extremely shaky, confidence is extremely low. Staking would be one of the salvations, and they make some kind of lottery staking, which is just taking the piss out of investors, in my opinion, which basically means that even when the ship is on fire, sinking, they don't mind, they just let it burn, which I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this. Then there are some opportunities. One thing that's quite interesting, which Michael told me about, right, who works for me, you can see it's already quite pumped, because they released the Chumpy staking today, and the staking pays really well. They have guaranteed APR, quite high. Chumpy Valley is a game that I covered before. It's like a Pokemon style game. We tried to get into the NFTs. It was sold out extremely quick. I really like this one. I do think it has a lot of adoption, and there's a huge team behind it. But their token was listed on KuCoin, so you needed to do some I don't know, like an initial exchange offering. So yeah, there were some requirements why we couldn't participate. I did try to flip it in the beginning. It wasn't that interesting, but basically it came down here because of the actual exchange unlock with PancakeSwap. So the exchange listing then was unlocked against a Pancake pool. And of course, just like on Ursa, the price sank, which is normal. And now it's like recovering because of the staking. But I think the 90 days or 180 days is 200% APR, which is like crazy minimum, right? So right now it's, I think, like 10,000%. It's a good opportunity if you believe in this game and you would like to stake it long term. I have been crazy busy today. I wanted to take advantage of this, but I didn't. Now it's up 30%. I might still consider it, but probably will be another 2 hours before I'm done with you guys. BitHotel, I know the founder of BitHotel, so that's why I looked at it recently. This market cap is not correct. It's 4 million, actually, but they have some exciting NFT projects coming up soon. So that's why this is on my radar for the short term. Not saying that I'm going to buy it, but I will research it a little bit more, because I did say I didn't like it, but maybe I'll change my opinion once I do actually do some real research. Then when we actually go into the actual coins, so that's what I've been looking at, these 5 coins, 6 coins, basically for the last, well, 1 day, yesterday, because I do look at a lot of coins when I have some free time. So basically I work 12 to 14 hours a day these days on all the different companies. And in the free time, I'm still browsing coins, looking for opportunities. Are we here? Gaming? Yeah. You guys can put some questions in the chat if you like, and then I can pick them up when I'm done with my main talk. All right, so Gala is the one I spoke about before, which I think has opportunity. The two metaverses, obviously quite interesting. Ultra for the long term. I still have to investigate this because a lot of people keep talking about it. Illuvium obviously having, again, a 50% off, I believe, of all-time high. Yep. So definitely that's a good entry. It's one of the best game trailers I think anyone has seen, but it is already very hyped. Once they do release the game, I think there's some explosive growth opportunity there. It's not like a 5x or anything, but still at least doubling with a more secure project. Falcon still at 15, really low because of their reputation damage, right? Minds of Dalonia, one of the, I wouldn't call them gems, right? Because the market cap is already quite significant, but definitely the 5x opportunity as soon as the market goes up. Cedify as the launch pad. I'm going to flip this one, right? I'm not going to hold it. I have about 1,000 tokens right now, so about $8,000. And you only get lottery for that, so not that useful. I've been looking at Solana games a lot lately. So you have like Monkey Ball, Star Atlas. I looked at the Star Atlas NFTs to stake them. Like those have more like passive income opportunities, quite interesting. People tell me all the time about Aurora. I looked at the NFTs and then I forgot I should have looked at the coins instead because I wasted 2 hours on looking at these NFTs, which is a shame. But there are so many opportunities still in this list because I assume even for yourself, you probably don't know 80, 90% of these coins listed here, what the games are actually about, right? It's just a matter of time to dig out all these amazing opportunities that are present here. One thing I also want to share you when we go to OpenSea, I don't know if any of you guys are heavily into NFTs, but I assume so. There are some community projects, obviously, that give you quite a significant advantage. I would say Bored Ape Yacht Club, to get into that community, the cheapest thing is to buy a Mutant Ape, right? 15 Ethereum. You get into influential circles that way. Influential circles in any business, anything money related, will get you to your goals faster. It's not necessarily what you know, more so who you know, right? In business, we say your network is your net worth for a reason. It's like a cheesy little quote. I hold Neo Tokyo for the reason of getting, I have an outdoor identity, right? Medium allocation. So the floor is about 14, 15 Ethereum. I snagged that up for like 5 Ethereum 6-8 weeks ago. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's quite an investment, but you get to know people there. One of the things that I'm trying to build similarly to what I've seen is like the Journey Club, right? Digits Club will be something like this, but a lot better in terms of, because they don't post that much. They take a lot of time and we move a lot faster because we have a lot more people. They have 4 people, we have 20 people staff, right? But I really like what they're doing, the idea, the philosophy of having like a little cult inner circle club where we share things with our brightest minds, right? All right, let me pick up some questions you guys are posting. Do you sell just before the vesting? For example, in Neko, next vesting is the 6th of February. Is it wise to sell, for example, the 3rd or 4th? That's quite a good question. So for my own vesting, right, when I look at coins, I tend to, the first vesting, I just tend to sell off just to get my initial back. So anything else after that is profit. That way you remove the risk, right? That's, in my opinion, one of the most solid strategies, the most safe strategies. If you would buy a coin and you know the next vesting is coming up, which I should know because I was in the Neko IDO, but I didn't even know when the next vesting is coming. So the 6th, you're mentioning the 6th. So the 6th was, it's basically the day it dumped, right? Yeah, that was basically the 6th right here. In that case, yes, I would definitely recommend you to sell before. For any micro cap project, I've been tracking, or at least in my mind, I've been tracking, so Soul Chicks, Magic Craft, also in the Neko and some other small projects. What it appears to be that any major announcement doesn't live up to the hype. So 9 out of 10 times, it's better to sell the news basically before the actual event happens. You are more profitable 9 out of 10 times, which means that 1 out of 10 times that you miss it, it doesn't matter because you've already make more money than 9 out of 10 times. That's what I'm seeing with small cap projects, which I think is a true golden nugget, which in that case, every time an exchange listing happens, I think Cryo War or something else is listing on Gate.io tomorrow, which I already know is not going to be any significant impact with the current market conditions. So if you want to sell, then sell before. Yes, Bert, that's like the best thing. I saw what seems to be a very significant gaming project, Expantum, which I posted. I'm very curious to know what you think. Apologies if this is not the right time. Well, this is the right time, Tadas. So let's have a look. Because we can look at it together. Is it crypto? Is it NFT only? That would make me sad, because I don't like NFTs without utility, unless there is a strong utility, and I would love it. 30K, it's been around for quite a while. Let's have a look. It says public mint, January 26. We are right on time. Okay, looks like kind of like Rome Total War, if you know that game. Expantum the game. Play video. Are we going to see the video? Let's have a quick look. Emperor. Ah, cool. It looks like Age of Empires. Anybody play this? Does kind of look like Rome Total War. Okay, and that's it. Very short trailer. Okay, what do we have? Timeline, concept, open communities. Yeah, so they're launching the token and the NFTs. Where's any of the, I don't really like the website, really poor quality, right? They did put up some like, but this is just one image. This is just some screenshots probably, yeah. So they all basically, all these strategy games, they follow like the Civilization style. If you ever played Civilization, they pull with like hex tiles. You can basically build and conquer the world. That's basically what they're trying to do. But all these games that follow that principle, I would put in the project of a cash grab, right? Because they just take something really basic. It doesn't matter. It can still be good for you to make money on as well. But it's not really a metaverse, is it? They just throw these names around. NFT roadmap, create the NFTs. NFT holders receive our native in-game fungible token. The user will hold NFTs off the drop to participate in the NFT giveaway. Public sale. Okay. Our NFTs will be revenue generating in the game. Okay. To earn real world money. Yeah. Okay. So the NFT in this case is just a fucking cash grab, right? There's no real utility. We made an NFT and we made sure that it's an access key to a software. If you do not have the NFT, you're locked out of the software. The software is the utility, right? It's the actual product that gets updated. In this case, from what I'm reading real quick, is that you have the NFT, you use it in game, you get currency, and that could reward your money. So basically, you could also just stake the tokens, right? You don't need to buy an NFT. That's just something that can make more money on, which especially with the design of the game, obviously I'm just looking at it real quick right now, but this is something we see a lot. And then they have like NFT staking, super fake roadmap on what they want to do. Doesn't bring me the confidence that I would like. If there's like a super interesting NFT utility for games, I think the best thing is characters, right? You own the NFT to the character and the character is the utility to log into the game, which I think is great. That's like one of the basic concepts of games, which is so simple, yet so effective. Then obviously you can make it more complex with weapons and all that stuff, but this doesn't look that good. I wouldn't be interested from the first look. Obviously, I only looked at it for 2 seconds, to keep that in mind. Your 2021 gains, overall 6x, was interesting. So there are a range of flipping. Lawrence, what specifically is that question, or is just a note? I can unmute you if you want.
Okay, no, it's just how because you did a 6x during 2021, so then it's just to explore more. It's like how can we like even a personal investor do the same thing as well?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the main concept is obviously you would need the initial capital, right? That's the most important thing. One of my main strategies, and which is, in my opinion, my personal strategy, you could adapt on that as you wish, is basically participating in IDOs, get my initial on the first or second vesting, right? From what I've experienced myself, what I like to, or what I have learned, is that anything beyond 25% TGE is usually a dump fest. So it doesn't give good returns, right? Anything like the Bluezilla launch pads or anything with like any pad private sales, anything 10% TGE. So basically 10% TGE and then 10% linear. So over 10 months, 9 months in that case, holds the value quite well. And for these launches, you invest $200, $500, it turns into 10,000, right? Which means every month you take 1,000 profit if you have taken your initial. Once the initial has been taken out of the stack, and you do, well, in my case, I would do about 3 to 5 IDOs per week, right? 6 months from now, you would add about 30K worth of tokens a month, 1K a day, right, on average. However, the market conditions are volatile, right? So if I would take the Meta VPad, for example, the vesting has started. They changed the rules. So before it was 10% TGE, then linear monthly. Now it was 10% TGE linear daily. So they changed the vesting a little bit to prevent the dump. But you can see the market is in downward trend. This coin also moves in a downward trend, right? Will the market recover? Will this recover significantly? I don't think so, because it's still at a 305x right now. But if this would go down to 10 cents, it doesn't matter for me because I'm still at 100x. So you only need a couple of these major successful projects. So out of your 30 projects in 6 months, right, that do well, you only need 1 or 2 that pull numbers in like this. The problem is you have time. You need to be patient, which I don't want to hear in business ever, but people also don't like to hear in general, is whether a bear market is coming or not, whether the bull cycle is ending, it doesn't matter because we're early, right? So as long, and I cannot give a financial advice, but if I would talk about myself, if I'm doing what I'm doing right now consistently, I will make tens of millions of dollars over the next 5 years by just doing the micro caps, all that stuff. And every year more adoption happens, my return becomes lower, but the risk also becomes lower, right? Because there will be more regularities, all that stuff. So less risk, less reward. That's why I'm trying to take advantage of all these launches right now while they're happening. But that would basically be the main strategy. I know some people have an expertise in yield farming, right? So you can do it with yield farming, you can do it with IDOs. I just like the listings and I like the claims of the vesting, right? I just like reading white papers. So that's basically more my personal field. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, perfect. Machi, would love to hear your thoughts on SpinTop. It recently Gamepedia platform on the website with more things to come. Have you allocated anything to SpinTop? I think so. On Seedify, I think it launched, but I haven't looked at it ever since. I haven't even claimed the tokens because I got a very small allocation. Okay, does look interesting. 22 million, but I don't know what it is. Gamepedia, this is what you're referring to. See, my wallet is connected, so I've been here before. I have been here before. I would have to research it a little bit more in terms of what this actually does. So it's a Gamepedia, community-driven gaming guide, which prioritizes UX, UX, social aspects of the blockchain gaming. Okay, we can have a look. Crypto Blades. They have a lot of different things, but what does it actually do? It allows you to play the game. That would be cool. They have the Lani as well. I did click on it, but it's not really doing anything. So it shows you some information. That's it. It just gives you an idea of the game. What does it say? Token information, contract. Yeah, I'd have to expect it. Oh, it's just like IMDb. So it's like a database of the games. Yeah, it could be interesting. I don't really see the super added value, but if people are lazy and just want to do a rating of games, yeah, for us, even as investors, it would be helpful. I do see the opportunity in that, but would I jump on it? Probably not, because I don't think the utility is that huge. There needs to be like a more advanced benefit. Have you heard about the new upcoming launchpad? Okay, I do actually, I mentioned before in our private community that I was looking at some launchpads. I can give them to you right now. The ones I've written down so far, Firestarter, right? So I've been looking at Firestarter, keeping track of their projects, keeping track of how they answer questions in the community. Obviously, that is the research that most of you guys, I hope you guys would do, but most of you don't, right? So the way they answer questions in their community ensures for me the longevity of this project, right? The way they pull in projects. I don't like whatever lottery system they have built, but I know anyway that if I would participate, I would get top 25 anyway. So whatever lottery they have going on, I would not have to worry about, and whatever cooldown bullshit rules. But so far they do have interesting projects. So Cybertrade is nice, but they have the Illumia Crown as well. They also did Decimated, of course, which I have an update on later. Next, next. Oh, so they're fucking stupid bullshit website. Next, next, next. I'm clicking the arrows, yeah? Okay, well, apparently that's the end. So Firestarter is one. I looked at the one from Good Games Guild. The reason for this is that Metaverse Pad, that's what it's called. Not because I like the Metaverse Pad, right? But the reason is I like Good Games Guild. So I would hold Good Games Guild and you need to stake it, which basically gives you guaranteed allocation. So they did update it. 2 days ago, it didn't look like this. So that's nice. They're working on it. They actually require you to hold the actual token right now. I think before they allowed you to stake Good Games Guild. No, this is not the right launchpad, I think. This is MetaPad, and I am looking at a different one. Metaverse Pad I'm looking for. Metaverse Pad, MetaVPad. These fuckers all use the same name. Good Games Guild Launchpad. Because even on the Discord where I'm in for this launchpad, they only had one launch. Okay. Yeah, this is the logo, Metaverse Pad. Is there like a URL? Yeah, this is the one. See, it's different. So here, you stake your Good Game Guild. So you stake Good Game Guild, and this is like, there's lottery and there's guaranteed, but the lottery is 500 plus. The token is not cheap. So it's like 350, still doable, 1,500 bucks to get into the guaranteed one, but they don't have that many launches. I think they just did their first launch. The reason is I don't really care about the allocation. They have no track record, but I care about this token. So I'm not holding it right now. I'm considering it. When I would hold this token, Good Games Guild, yeah, let's say I'm going to hold probably then 5,000 in that case, or 10,000. I just want the maximum allocation. I would hold this for the long term because I do think it has long-term potential. Why not get APR on it, right? It's sitting in my wallet earning nothing. Then I just put it in here. I stake it. I earn some APR on it. It's at least locked for 14 days. After that, you can take it away. And I get allocation, maximum allocation to whatever projects they launched, right? And I think they just launched one. The first one, some like metaverse project. Oh, now they have more. See, so we're right on time, guys. They have 3 projects coming up. So it's time to definitely do the research this weekend because we would get a high allocation possibly in these projects if they're interesting. But it's not, I'm not in it for the launchpad. I'm in it for the Good Game Guild token, and the launchpad is just an additional benefit. But that would be 2 birds, 1 stone. Does it make sense? Perfect. The other one I saw was LunaPad. So Michael came up with this one. He did a review on his YouTube channel. Michael is the guy in the other office who works for me. He also makes YouTube videos. The reason for this is this token is cheap as fuck. The platform appears to be a little dodgy though. So you need a lot of tokens, but they're super cheap. And this is like, I need to research it, why people are not a fan of this platform for whatever reason. But they do give decent allocations, it appears. Look, the roadmap is not even up to date or nothing like that. But the token itself, if you go to, let's see, where do we go? Where's the allocations? Here. So the allocations, Luna pad. Look, it's 2 cents. So it has been down quite a bit. well, it has suffered quite a bit, right? All-time high, and basically from the all-time high, probably there was the first major project, right? And after the major project, it just crashed. So guaranteed allocation, pool size up to 3 BNB. So in this case, you can know. So if you have this one, you have up to 3 BNB allocation, right? 3 BNB, probably around $1,500, right? For about 250,000 tokens, which 250,000 times 0.02, 0.02, 8. $7,000. That's pretty good. Invest $7,000, you need to stake it, but you get $1,500-ish allocation depending on the price of BNB. The problem is, I don't know how trustworthy this launchpad is in terms of what they can actually deliver and how many projects they would have. But it does look interesting being such a small launchpad, right? Can we click on staking, or do we need to connect? Because they don't have anything on their app. Maybe then we'll be able to see the projects. Fire chain. Oh, that's funny. I was a strategic. I was in the strategic round for Fire chain like 3.5 months ago. So it's finally happening, the IDO, and it's going to be here. So they definitely have one good project, because I already know this project. And well, basically all you have to do to see if this something is interesting is look at the past projects they have done. They did a lot of NFTs for MetaMall, apparently. They did Age of God, so that one did really well. Basically, run all of these projects through CoinMarketCap, see what the performance was. If the performance was good, you might be able to give them a shot. High risk, high reward platform, of course. Because if you get 1,500 in Fire chain, I think this project will do well. MVPad, all right, some opportunities there. Yeah, so those are 3 ones. And then Tobias asked about MetaStarter. Let's have a look at MetaStarter. What's the time? 45 minutes almost, guys. We're having so much fun. MetaStarter. Looks good. Yeah, it's a little slow because I'm recording, got Zoom going, everything like that. So it says ID pad for next-gen gamified metaverse space. Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Solana, Polygon. Okay. They have no projects yet. I like to see real faces. But at least they have full name here, and they have no full names there, unfortunately. The app. Okay, it's not ready yet. So yeah, if we would have information on the actual IDO. So one of the best opportunities which you don't often get with launchpads is participate in the IDO token of the actual launchpad when they host it themselves. That is the best way to get cheap allocation for the projects they launch in the future. Usually when a launchpad launches, for example, one from Bluzilla or any other launchpad, they do a token on a different platform, on a different launchpad. They launch their own token, and 2 to 3 months after that, they start listing projects, right? So you'll have to be patient for a while, but usually through that system, you can get top tier allocation for all of these platforms. You just have to be patient again. And that is usually a struggle. But this one looks quite decent from the looks of it. There's not much I can say about it. Oh, they have a pitch deck, so maybe we can say a little bit more. I'm not going to read the entire thing because I do understand how this platform works. I do want to know the tokens. Seed, 8%. AB. Okay. Why would you put private round here and then another private round here? Just put them next to each other. Man. People who make these things don't use their fucking brain. Public sale, 2%. So that's 16, 21, 34. Raising a lot of money. Liquidity, 5%. Marketing, 8%. Ecosystem, 20%. Team, 17%. Staking rewards. Okay, that's quite good. No advisors though. Okay, this is the most important part. Initial circulating supply, 6.5 million. I'm not interested. Way too high for a launchpad. Oh, initial market cap. Hey, sorry, my bad. I'm judging too quick, guys. 427K. Still not interested. It's a little too high for a launchpad. If we look at launchpads, I don't know. Yeah, because they have a very high token supply, right? If you look at this market cap, 430K, and that's basically the value, right? This one is 135K, and they have already launched several projects, and they have several projects lined up. If you go to categories here, and then you go launchpads, so not the actual bullperk launchpad or something, but the just straight one launchpads. So these are all different type of launchpads or related to launchpads, right? You can see that UFO Gaming doesn't have a launchpad yet. Superfarm is not a launchpad, but the other ones are, right? So there's basically 270K, which is 430K that they want to start with. There's no launchpad that has that high market cap on the market right now. All of the other, oh, this is millions, sorry, fuck me, hang on. So yeah, then you would be in the lower section, the non-confirmed section. Even for that, yeah, for a launchpad, because I'm quite judgmental when it comes to the market caps, right? Something like this is extremely overvalued, right? That's why the platform is dying, basically. When it comes down to these launchpads, the initial value of this basically has traction, how many X's it can do after the launch, but as well at the same time holds back, in my opinion, the growth of the token. Right? If you look at something like Seedify, which started low and has grown over time, obviously it has done extremely well, but the token has seen drastic growth, right, over time. There has been some ups, there have been some downs, like regular launchpad. With the gaming run, it did go up all the way. If you already start that high, how far can you go? How can you go? If you would then participate in the meta starter, so two things. The pro is if the coin doesn't increase that much after the listing, right, you can get cheaper tiers potentially, depending on the price. The con is that on the token ride, the wave of the token increasing over time is limited because of the higher market cap. So those two things. Other than that, yeah, they don't have that many investors yet, but there's also no announcement yet. Maybe they do have an announcement on Twitter or whatever when the actual listing is going to happen. But yeah, I would just keep your eye on it. Just like any other launchpad, but the tokenomics are not that convincing. Robo Hero IDO. Let's have a look at Robo Hero. 20K. Again with the Galaxy style games. Okay, Star Terra, we can check it later. So most of these like Star Trek games, Galaxy games, they're going to be cash grabs, right? Sidus did it big, Star Atlas did it big, and right now you just get a fuck ton of copycats trying to just leverage it. They just pick a different blockchain. So this one is picking Terra Luna, I think, as the blockchain. Yes, you got Luna Energy. They use Star Terra, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? Just the longevity might be shorter. We'll just pick the tokenomics. Okay. 6 month linear, TGE 15. Lock. They actually made this look nice. It's not that difficult, I think. Seed 10, TGE 10%. Vesting, check our white paper. That's dodgy. Why would you write the vesting everywhere? And for the seeds, you just say check our white paper. That's a little strange. So we will check the white paper if it's available. Right here. And if you click it, you don't get the white paper, you go to the IGO. Okay. Platform raise, token price, registration ends. So I don't know if you need to stake for this, probably because it says staking, and then I'm already not interested. I would like to see the tokenomics in terms of what it can actually give us. Oh, here, private 10, 12, 13. So even on the public, you already gained something. That's not really that common. So that is nice, but they don't say anything about the market cap. You would have to calculate it. Maybe it's in the white paper. For such a game, market cap. I think the hype is currently there, specifically on Luna launches, Luna launch pads. So anything under for such a game 5x, if you're looking to do a 5x, right, straight on the launch, just get in, get out. But the TGE is quite low, right? So it's more of a I don't know, semi-long-term play, medium-term play. At least under 400K would be best, right? If you see these type of games having a TG at like 1.6 million, there's limited potential there. And that's just because of the hype, right? It has nothing to say about the game. It's just supply and demand. Did you look at MetaVider? We have a lot of different things. Let's see, MetaVider. This is like Street Fighter. Looks like the same logo. NFT utility. Yeah, see, so it's an arcade. Basically, it's a copycat. Whoa, big team. A lot of advisors. It's basically a copycat of Street Fighter, right? Basically, one-on-one. They even say it, like arcade fighting game. Utilizes NFT, smart contract control token, blah, blah, blah. Every in-game fighter or asset is backed by dynamic NFT. All right, so this is what I said. This is the best thing they can do. Your fighter, your character that you level up and whatever do is an NFT. That's basically, if you want to make a simple project, the sole purpose of the NFT. Good utility, everybody understands it. It looks fine. And it's based on a highly successful replica adapted to the blockchain. I don't even need to read the white paper. This looks interesting, right? I'm not going to say if I would back it or not, but it looks interesting. We don't see any major players, unfortunately, on this screen right here. But yeah, definitely worth a research report at some point. So do mention it inside the video suggestion, because then I'll pick it up. With the tracker running, will you guide us on investing on the right timing on different projects? I will never give you financial advice, right? Never. I will tell you what I'm doing, right, according to my own journey, and you can learn from that and adapt from that. And we can discuss different projects, but I will never tell you to invest in anything or do anything like that, because I think it's amazing. Obviously, you can read between the lines. If I'm saying I'm buying $10,000 worth of CryoWar, and you would ask me, do you think it's a good bet? I will say, well, if I'm doing it, I must think it's a good thing, right? And then you can do with that whatever you want. Did I miss anything juicy? Zach, you're here. So the juiciness is still to come. We've been waiting for you. There's still people joining. Okay, token cheap, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay. Which AnyPad launches are you looking to get into? Let's head over to AnyPad. So AnyPad is coming up with a lot of changes. I spoke with their CEO yesterday. It was quite fun, just because I had some questions about what they're actually doing. But there will be many, many different things coming up. I think I still can claim this, yes. I haven't claimed it yet, but the Ethereum fees, they're so high. I'm not going to claim it. But they basically did Duckyland, right? And then they have some very interesting projects coming up. I cannot tell you which ones, although I already know, of course. But they're listing, I think, 2 more A-type projects this month. And I think they're both, one is private, one is IDO. So one is private, one is public. Which is interesting. I mean, the quality hasn't been that well on AnyPad in the last 2 weeks. Everybody complained about it, and they're improving it. So, I mean, that's all we can ask for, because we all want the moonshots, right? However, you always got to give people some time. Now I'm working on my own projects. I can definitely say good things take time. You don't give them months, right? If they're not performing, we just dump the token. It's like, we're good friends, but we're not friends like that. Like when people say, we're all going to make it, the walk me stuff, I will take care of myself first. And then if you can win as well, that's great. But I'm not going to sacrifice my gains for nobody, right? So that's very important that you control your own portfolio. So AnyPad is great for now. I'm happy with it for now. If anything changes, I'll let you know, and then we might move on. Okay. Let's see, I'm so behind on the chat, guys. There's like 40 more messages. I'm just scrolling through it right now. My video isn't up. Okay, I'm going to reshare again for anybody who's missing out on the video. Oh no, hang on, messed that one up. Sorry guys, amateur. Okay, open the chat back up. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, Sidus, Star Atlas. I really like the Star Atlas ships. I've been researching it. So you can buy like Star Atlas NFT ships and then stake them. And it takes about 225 days to get back your investment. But I think it's like a long-term play. So it's definitely very, very interesting. Oh, I'm already, sorry guys, I missed a lot of messages, but I'm now already at the bottom. Okay, I know it's not the vibe of this community, but looking at the trading of a microcap like Nino dipping from 27 to 18 in a few hours, do you have any tips, tricks, investigating, manipulating, whale watching that might be of use? Unfortunately, I don't do anything like that. So all I do is when I look for these microcaps, let me pull back the Nineco chart. Yeah. I look for, I don't want to jump on the hype when the hype has already happened, right? That's one of the biggest things. So whenever I've recorded a video, which makes sense, I've already bought in, right? Because I found the gem. I tell my people from the pre-sale one, and then an hour, 2 hours later, I up the video. So let's say there were people who watched the videos 2 days late who buy in here. Well, if you buy in here when it has already done a 7S, you know you're exposing yourself to extreme risk, right? It could go up more, but how likely is it from a scale to unlikely to likely? I would say very unlikely that it would just go take a moonshot to $100, right? If it's now 30 cents. It will most likely just go down because the people that bought here are going to take profit, right? Which already happened, which you can see right here. It angled down because people were starting to take profit. The hype continued and it went up more and then slowly declined. Which I think in this case is just common sense. I wouldn't take flips. You could flip it here, like in between, but it's such high risk. Is you better just take your time, research a different project, and the opportunity will come again. I was just looking around. I noticed that I was in the Nineco announcements on Telegram still. I just clicked through on an evening when I'm doing some research to see what all of these projects are up to. And all of a sudden they're saying, we have like a major announcement, 3 major announcements in 1 week. That's basically a signal. Look at the price of this project, look at the market cap. If they have 3 major announcements and they're actually not soul chick style announcement, but actually real ones, right? That will move the price. And I just want to take advantage of the price for the volatility and not really whatever this game is. People tell me, oh, I'm really addicted to this game. Well, good for you. I don't care about the game. I don't care about the NFTs. I just want to flip it. And if the game is nice, that's like an additional benefit. I jumped on CryoWar because I like the game. I don't like it so much that I'm going to play it, but I do like it. Look, it's under $1. I do like it to such an extent where I do think there's a long future for this, right? And that's also something that's been mentioned. In my opinion, my portfolio is of such a size, we're talking a couple $100,000, that it needs to be some long-term focus, some micro-cap focus. The micro-cap focus is less than $25,000 at a time, right? Because that's playing money. That's money if you lose it. Sounds maybe crazy. It does sound crazy to me. $25,000 is playing money, right? But there are definitely other projects that, like for example, Falcon Forge, Gala, Sandbox, Decentraland. If I see an upward trend in the market, I'll just drop 10K in all of these projects. Illuvium, right? Mines of Delania, everything I mentioned before, just 10K in all of them. Stick it there for a year, whether the market goes up or market goes down. And if you really believe, like I believe, in my opinion, that in 1 year these projects can do crazy things, then yes. What you'll notice oftentimes is that if you don't do anything, it's usually better than playing the charts, right? So let's say you've made all kinds of significant trades on Ethereum the last year, right? Then if you would just focus on, my exit would be exit at the all-time high, right? Because if we would enter like a new big bull run, right, then coins will reach their previous all-time high. So the rule could be, I buy in now and I could exit potentially at the next all-time high. If you did that last year, you basically had a 4x on your money. So if you would drop 10K in every single project, your entire portfolio goes 4x, which for me would mean millions, right? In that case, how likely is it that I keep flipping microcaps and I can achieve that same result in 12 months? Unlikely, right? So the longevity is definitely the most important thing. But we also like to play and take risk, but it doesn't mean that's all you should do, right? That's high risk, high reward. And you can get wrecked sometimes. It's part of the game. Can you talk more about the project regarding guaranteed allocation for the partnerships or projects when it will take action, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, that's basically a rough guideline, right? We have 1 year, but I do have some sketches, right? I don't know if this is the right one. Let me see. Nope, that's the inside of the vesting tracker, which I assume I've already showed you guys before. Yep, this is the homepage of Digits Club that I sent today. Looks quite cool. Need to add some images. So here we go. Pre-sale, whitelist sale, official launch. This is a rough roadmap I sent to the designer. Right, partnership expansion collection 2, prep. The launch would happen in Q2, Q3. So the idea is we have 1 year, 4 quarters. We would launch 1 collection per quarter. But I also said that the vesting tracker beta would open in February, and it's already opening next week, right? So it depends on how fast things move. Obviously, things take time. We need to build it. We need to prepare it. But the main thing is what I experience from most projects, because I'm in Journey Club, right? I am in Neo Tokyo. We have the Bored Ape community access, is that the communication is very poor, right? The investors are left in the dark. We just need to wait, to be determined, to be announced soon. And I do want to keep you guys in the loop on the progress, how everything is working. I have a full Q&A with 13 questions already here. I have my whole team with first and last name, with LinkedIn, with Twitters on everybody, and I just need to get the right pictures in there. So it's like super transparent. We keep you up to date, and as soon as it's ready, I'll let you know. But yeah, things take time. And obviously, even if the 4 collections were ready, I'm not going to launch them week after week and just give myself a lot more work in the short term, right? We do need to spread it out a little bit, go from milestone to milestone. But there will be a huge, one of the collections I can teach will be very much focused on education side of things, knowledge, right? Obviously, the Digits Club itself will give you access to a lot of influential people. If you then can stack that, you basically would have everything you need, at least regarding the Launchpad IDOs, and whatever we bring in the future, that would be beneficial there. Yeah. Okay, let me just close all these tabs. When is the Colin coin coming out? I don't think, it's not really something I'm interested in actually, in launching my own coin. I can tell you why. Even with the NFTs alone and the minting, the tax regulations are a fucking nightmare in Europe, right? So we had to do some advanced some advanced hoops to jump through, and with coins that would only get more complicated. But maybe once we have a little bit more experience and we do have like a real opportunity, like a game or something that really requires that, I would consider it, but not in the short term. Let me see. I know this sounds like an odd question, but assuming a project already IDO'd, and in the first 2 years, Seawar, Mines of Delonia spin, and we fully diluted market cap 7 million, 1 billion, is locking loads of tokens, like all of them are. Is it worth the risk for your long-term portfolio that the market cap will increase nicely with unlocks and you would relatively hold? Well, that's obviously a very interesting question. Like, who's going to say a successful project even supposed to have a big price increase? It's a supply and demand overall. So I would say we take into consideration for the 4 to 6 months, more so the development in the overall crypto space relative to the project itself. It's not really about the project itself at that point. The project needs to be good and you need to trust it. But if we would assume, right? And that's just personal belief, that Bitcoin can reach $100,000, it would also mean that everything below it does a 2x or more, right? And for the micro caps or the smaller caps, even 100 million, that might mean 20x, right? In that regard. So that's what I believe. I believe that Bitcoin can reach 100K, right? And that Ethereum can reach 10K, depending on, maybe it's 6 months from now, maybe it's 2 years from now. I think the time frame is relevant, in my opinion. But I leverage the gaming coins because that's where my knowledge is at. My knowledge is not in blockchain technology or how that works or how that is scaled. It is more so in games. I understand the supply and demand. I understand how that works. But I also believe that it's a lot of hype, right? So I'm being realistic. It's not that I'm going to say, right now you're in the early adopter phase of crypto. So you're exposed to the highest risk, but also the highest reward. I think I've made it quite clear today that we throw the ban hammer around quite a lot in our Discord. We do heavy moderation. The reason for this is that people think, they believe that you just throw money into this shit and it starts printing money. The biggest thing what you and everybody else has to understand, for you to win and make money, somebody else loses money. And that's what we don't understand, right? This is not an infinite supply of money where things just grow. It's supply and demand, basic economics. If I make money, which last year I made a couple 100K, means that I took that money from somebody else. That's how the market works. So in that case, if you're happy that you made a 10x on an IDO, it means somebody lost that money as well. Where I don't really care, because do your own research. Nothing is financial advice, right? Keep that in mind. The overall scope of things is that that's how the market works. And the long-term focus is truly in belief more so than anything else. The more people believe, the more the market sees an uptrend because of the adoption. What's your opinion on buying NFT land in games as possible passive income assets or flips? I think that could be potentially an opportunity. I have never done it for the reason that I think these things are cash grabs, right? I think games that are not ready, that are being developed, that are selling land. So the coins are already high risk because most of these games are not ready, right? Sidus, Star Atlas, they're looking at a 2 to 5 year roadmap to launch the real actual game. 2 to 5 years. Look at what Bitcoin did in the last 6 months. Where are we? We don't know at that point, right? So if you're buying land in a game that takes 3 to 5 years to be developed, like Sandbox is a little bit different. Anytime the roadmap is shorter or they actually have achieved major milestones, the risk becomes less. The risk is still extremely severe. But if you're going to buy land in a game, for example, the land sale in Ursa, I do believe the Ursa token, I like the game, I like the concept, what they've shown so far. And other people think so too, because when they announced the purchase of the Ursa token for land, the price went up immediately, right? Against the market pattern, because the market is still in a slowly linear downward trend, or at least trying to stabilize right now. In that case, look, I'm even profitable because I bought at 25 cents, but I was a little disappointed when the Hiobi opened up to Pancake and it dropped, because I basically bought somewhere right here. But now I'm profitable. I have about $10,000 worth of Ursa, a little bit more right now. But am I going to buy land in Ursa? No. Why? Because I think it's too much risk. I don't want to hold it for that long, even if it has passive income. The main term I am concerned here is called opportunity cost, right? I don't want to tie up money for a longer period of time where I'm exposed to not being able to move that liquidity. And I don't think the reward that I receive for that is sufficient to take away that risk. Complicated language, but opportunity cost. You can Google it. It's one of my favorite terms. That's what I learned with NFTs last year. I was buying a shit ton of NFTs and I was flipping them successfully until nobody wanted to buy them. And I had $50,000 worth of NFTs that I wanted to sell, but nobody wanted to buy. So what did I do with my Sin City blueprints? I sold them. And I sold them I bought them at about $350, right, on the mint, and I sold them for $700. Yesterday I looked, they were pricing were $800. Right now they're $840. But this is a process of would have, should have, could have. I could have sold them right now for $840. But 2 days ago, the price, when there was like the Kylie Jenner announcement, just before that, there was a lot of fear about the game because it's basically a copy of an old game. The price was 400 and I sold for 700. So at that time I was extremely happy. Now you would be sad, but I'm not sad because I don't even look at it anymore. I'm looking at it right now for you guys. But it's most important for me to take profit early instead of becoming delusional, becoming the diamond hand shouter. And at the end of the day, when everything turns to shit, you have no money and everybody else has already run away, right? That's my opinion, at least. What are your thoughts on buying space for upcoming game Big Time? So Big Time is a little bit different because that's like more of an A+ style game, right? It's very hyped, but I would flip those NFTs. I would not hold them, right? I would not hold them for passive income. I'm not going to wait for these games to come out. Yes, it could be huge. Yes, you could do 100x ROI, but it can also not be worth anything if anything goes wrong with the game, right? If there's any small bottleneck, your NFTs are worthless and or you need to wait 2 to 3 years for it actually be something, right? The main problem is in general, I would say, about Zach. I really like that you're giving small summaries of what I've said. I do really appreciate that. The main idea, what I'm seeing here is obviously I was amazed how our pre-sale sold out, right? I tell you guys an ID and you guys love it, which is impressive. But that's also what I see a lot in this NFT market, where you have to look at, I will deliver you these NFTs, probably, you guys don't know it yet, but probably in a week and a half, right? The minting will happen for the premium guys, at least. I have some plans ready there. But if I buy some land, I do get an NFT, the game is not launched for, let's say, a year, then what is the actual utility of the land? Well, you can earn passive income, but I want to know how much, right? How much, what's the token? Is there inflation at the time? Has there deflation happened? All these different things, and they cannot give answers to it. Anytime I cannot get answers to financial information I would need to justify the investment for myself, increases the risk. And then the question is, how much risk do I want to expose myself to? If we look at the Soul Chicks NFTs, which I look at every day because I hold many, I had a discussion with Michael this morning where we said, let's just sell our Soul Chicks NFTs because the Soul Chicks price right now is 5 cents. And they said, if you sell your Soul Chicks NFTs, we're going to refund your investment, right? Pro rata. Well, I would have a 8% return here. If I sell my NFTs right now, which I bought for 3.5 Solana on average, I make a lot more money. So, and I want to get my tokens ASAP, so I don't mind if they refund. The problem is, I think they will delay the refund or not refund at all, and then also not give me my tokens. So now I'm just figuring out what's the best way to do, because I have 15 NFTs that would give me more money. It's just a basic calculation at the end of the day. Why am I doing all this difficult calculation work? Because I don't trust this project at all anymore, right? After disappointment, I will leave that trust in this project to somebody else who does believe in it and who does want to risk their capital, but not me. So that's also a good follow-up point. What are your thoughts on Soul Chicks for the medium term? Well, there we go. It's kind of like that. I think that the team is not really active. I think, well, the main team, right? And the admins and mods, they just conversate with each other and they don't really answer questions. They just say, I don't know, to be determined, blah, blah, blah. I have given all my input in that one video where I basically push the recommendations for them, what I believe would be the right thing to do, how they can save this project. But with 300,000 followers and 75 likes on the last post, or 300 likes on the last post in like 12 hours, that means that everybody lost interest for this project, right? Probably 1/3 of these followers are bots. Then you have 200K real followers, because a lot of people that I know actually follow this project as well. But it doesn't look good. But investors are losing confidence, and at some point, I think the token will crash to such a level that there's no liquidity anymore. And if there's no liquidity, it can't be traded, and then it's dead. Yeah, many startups go through rocky beginnings and still do quite well. Do you think along the way there will be bygone, fuck ups will be bygones, and there's a positive. Yeah, that could be possible. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm not writing off the project as a dead project. I'm just saying, for me, it is not interesting anymore because, again, opportunity cost. I'd rather take my funds elsewhere because I see so many opportunities right now while the market is down. I made a video about it as well. Last year, the market was down, but I was too scared to make a move because I wasn't confident. I didn't have the knowledge. Now I have the knowledge. So when everybody's selling, I'm buying. And literally the last 3-4 weeks, that has already gave me significant profits in terms of percentage, not really numeric, right? But more percentage profits. So very, very significant. We're talking about 1,000% flips, right? But that's experience, that's knowledge, all that stuff. Is Digits Club going to be a launchpad? No. And how are the premium participants in the Digit Club going to be benefiting from it? Well, it's basically the influential circle that we have, right? So it's the knowledge part. Can we get into seed or private investments into the project? No. So it will not be any venture capital fund. It is not a launchpad. It's just a private community where we share information like we share in the vault right now. So the vault will disappear as soon as the minting happens for the premium members. And basically the club will become a little bit smaller. We move to the Digit Club, basically. There will not be just the vault. There will be several different topics there, an extension, and you basically have a collab bot on Discord. You need to connect your wallet. It will verify if you have the NFT. It will let you into the private Discord channels there. If you move the NFT out of your wallet, it automatically removes you. That's basically a system that everybody uses. But yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of people confuse it for a launchpad. I don't know why. Maybe because we discuss a lot of launches, right? But a launchpad project is of such significance, right? I do think if you would want to do that well, it would just take up a lot more time than what I have available in my day, right? You don't want to overplay your hand. I've been doing this business stuff for about 7 years now, and I've done that many times before, where you think you can do everything at the same time. But usually it doesn't work like that. I have a really good team with me right now, which is already extremely beneficial. But at the end of the day, you do want to keep your focus on what you're actually doing, and anything like that, focus down, right? So the Digits Club, same as Journey Club, our own collections, our own circle of influence, more so an information source on another level, which you cannot get anywhere else. That would be my primary focus. And then I will roll out additional opportunities there for that club. But I don't want to make any promises or set anything in stone regarding that. When that happens, everybody will know. And that's how we're going to do it, basically step by step. Obviously, the Track Digits platform, the software, that is just quite simple. The software functions as the software functions. We know what it has to do. And we build more advanced features over time out of that. Okay, cool. Any additional questions, guys? So we've been going for 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's funny, people spam me. People keep tagging me on Twitter in all kinds of random stuff. Can you review this? Can you review this? I don't even have the time to look at it, unfortunately, but people give good recommendations. Do you think the AnyPad launches Triplan, SoulCloud, and Last Horde can recover from their massive drop below IDO prices? No, I don't think so. Maybe long term, but I did Triplan myself. And I took the loss, basically. That's one of the projects I just cut a loss on. And I'm happy I did because I cut the loss at 85%. So I took a 15% loss on this one, which was about $120. But look at it where it's right now. Basically, look at the volume. Even if you would swap it, probably there's barely any liquidity. 12,000 in daily volume. This product is basically dead. They only are on Radium. And if you know about Triplan, they did a huge NFT sale as well. They had a really nice website. It looked really good, right? But there's so many projects launching. It's more so, look, IDO is live now, December 15. This hasn't been updated for like a month. The website was really professional, looked really good. The NFTs looked really good. right? But the project, they just couldn't do it, right? And that's nothing to blame to anybody involved. As I would just blame the team primarily, because, but this is part of the game, right? We cannot do 5x, 10x on every single launch. Projects need to fail because you're investing in opportunities, right? And some are opportunities and some are garbage in disguise. And that's what happens. So I don't think, quite quickly, so Soul Cloud, I do have myself. They like wormhole the contract, some type of bullshit. But look at the market cap, 80. I don't know even if this is the right one anymore, but there's a significant amount of volume all of a sudden. 14th of January. So maybe the vesting was released or something. I didn't even bother to look at it. It's worth nothing. And Lost Horde is one of these things as well. That's a card game. I'm not too much of a fan, or I think it's called Horde. Yeah. So again, super small micro cap right now, no volume behind it. I don't think these projects will recover much, but they're part of the game. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. As long as you're right, so even half of the time, then that's fine. And don't focus on these 100x launches. Focus on longevity. Patience, longevity are the two major things you should consider today. Any interesting true P&L projects? I don't like that platform because I don't like the team behind it. They are a little dodgy. However, they do always have a lot of different things. So they have Degen Gang. They have like B style launches, but there appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they give you some decent allocation as well. So I don't have time right now to review all of them, but it is a cheap launchpad to get into, and you would have to try it out because in terms of their past project, they launched AnyPad as well, but they also did Age of Gods. They do have launched quite some successful projects, but they also launched some crappy ones, right? So we have like tier 1 launchpads, which is like Seedify, Game Zone, like those things. And you have like tier 2, which is like True P&L, AnyPad, and then you have like tier 3, which is like MemePad, KingPad, that type of thing, right? So it's like in terms of the quality of their projects. It doesn't really say that much about the access, but it takes into consideration like total raise, those kind of things. I would classify them like that. To follow up, is it possible to expand the Digit Club into sort of VC investment? Yes, but definitely not this year. That is something that I would consider on the timeline into 2023. I have no rush to build this out. One thing I did learn quite quickly in business, it's more about the quality. Treat the customers that you have well, right? Let's make our little group here knowledgeable. Let's make ourselves strong and aware first, weed out all the retards if needed, because that will happen as well. And then combine our knowledge, and then these things like private rounds will automatically follow. It will be a result of us bundling our power, right? And that's what you really want from like this tight group, to become more tight, become friends, do some meetups around the world. If we all have good money, we can just fly everywhere we want, right? Maybe Bahamas or something. And then these rounds will happen, but not in the short term. Yeah, so when the NFTs are distributed, will the vault appear? I haven't decided how the actual flow will be, but we'll onboard the premium members first into the Digits Club, because we need to test the contracts. That's primarily it. So they get to mint free plus gas, right? So you just pay gas. But I will do a full write-up how that works, how it works with the vault step by step. So no worries for anybody. There's full transparency here. I've shown you all the designs. I've shown you, you can give your opinion about the project moving forward. And I'll just keep telling you, asking you, as a DAO, basically, we can all decide together. I'll just be the one pulling the trigger at the end of the day in terms of the action steps. So do not be worried about that. There will be a place for you. Now that you're reaching critical mass, what's the goal? You will be working with other influencers or joint product to increase your following. Yes, we would significantly increase the following. That is definitely one of the goals. I spoke with the CEO with AnyPad for a reason yesterday, not to just complain about that platform, but also to basically get us some partnership deals, either for the Digits Club or to expand our exposure. I've been talking with Bluezilla, right, which is obviously a major one. There have been talks going on, but that's just business talk in the background. Definitely looking for expansion on both sides, right? Get projects into the club of quality. But if you know me, I'm extremely picky, right? So we'll have to go through and analyze a lot of projects before we would do any partnerships, because I think the reputation is slowly built and easily destroyed, right? So definitely take it slow from there. And if I do have something, I do have a lot of, like I said, the founders of Bid Hotels is one of my buddies. I do have some connections, so we might see some benefits there already this quarter. But I cannot promise anything. I don't want to make any promises in general. I just want to under promise and over deliver, right? What I've said before. Let me see. What else? We need to bundle up power, 100%, 100%. Okay, so what's the difference between the rounds? So in round one of the pre-sale, we only had premium, we didn't have basic. So a lot of people message me like, hey, I'm missing out, I don't have that type of money. And we did have the plan to offer a cheaper plan anyway. So that's how I came up with the levels for the actual tracking. People with only $1,000 to pay for an NFT to get access probably don't need to track NFT floors and portfolios and combined portfolios and advanced statistics. So that's how I came up with the levels. Then in addition to that, there are obviously the different perks announced in the video, right? One has a free mint, the other one has a whitelist mint, which is different, right? One is free, just gas, and the other one needs to pay the mint price plus gas, but at least you're guaranteed a minting spot. Because as soon as we start, so we added 5 moderators this week already to the Discord, because next week we'll start the expansion of the audience, which will happen quite quickly. Which means that we will not mint Digits Club under a public mint. It will only be whitelist mints in specific steps. So if you are in the basic, you're basically in a very nice position because you have that whitelist spot and you do not need to fight for it, because people will fight for it or will have to pay top dollar to buy it off OpenSea, right? So both the premium and both the basic will get an advanced opportunity to potentially, nothing promises right now, but just an idea, to mint more than one Digits Club pass to reward you again for your trust in our projects. And that one you can obviously sell if you would like to. Holding multiple passes also gives multiple benefits in the future, but more about that later, when things are not just ideas, but we actually have some concrete elements. On the premium, there is a maximum of 100, and so far I believe we have 50, which is the cap of the actual pre-sale. So we cannot sell more than 50 in the pre-sale, but there will be a maximum of another 50. For the basic, I think there is more room for a third pre-sale, but I don't think we're going to do that. Why? Because it's not needed. So I'd rather have people of quality compete for a whitelist spot than push more people into the community early, where we would have as a community no direct benefit from that. Although it's nice to have more people and have a chat with more people, it also brings a lot more work, right? So let me just pause the screen share so you guys can see me and I can see all of you as well. With the growth of the audience, right? Some people, as I said this morning, right, are on a different level. Some people, some people are more advanced. Some people are less advanced in terms of, you know, their progress, and that's all good. I do want to welcome, hey Rommel, my friend, my long-term friend. Some people need that extra assistance, and I do want to offer you that assistance, right? So if you have questions, do tag me. Well, maybe not tag me always, but you can tag me if you really have an urgent question. But do use all the other channels we have prepared. We have quite some moderators now, basically from all different time zones to assist you if you need anything. And the main thing, what I think for us is that we should get to know each other inside the community. Look, there's the main man who makes it happen, Vladimir. He's the tech guru, the genius behind it all. I have all these wild, sporadic ideas, and then I tell Vladimir, listen up, I would like to do this and this and this, and apparently it's a lot more complicated than actually to make it than it's in my head when I think about it, right? But basically the entire timeline is that we will accomplish many things over the next 3 months, right? But these things will go quite quickly because we're in it 24/7. I've already messaged half a dozen of you, and apparently you guys are not in it for 24/7. So you will get frequent updates quite quickly. And for us, it feels like we're moving slow or normal according to plan. For you guys, it might feel compared to other projects, we're moving extremely quick. Because next week on Thursday, which is 20th, we will start the onboarding into the beta of the vesting tracker, right? We did some testing yesterday. That was highly successful with some mistakes, right? Some bugs still there, but we will fix that on time. And then basically we'll start to create a feedback loop, because obviously what I think is genius and what is cool, we all might have different opinions. And then basically we'll just create a feedback form, which you guys can shoot in, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're experiencing with the tool. And then we have a full staff to pick up these updates, and then I can relay them back to you to basically create a tool that's actually useful, right? I have done software in the past where I made all kinds of cool stuff, which was never used by the people actually using it. So it's a lot easier to build it with you guys than just build it out by a team that just tags along, right? Okay, sweet. Let's see. Any other questions? A lot of talking today. Anybody actually wants to talk or just want to type? We're a little shy still. Man, I do these Zoom calls all the time. So I do them for the other company on Tuesday and Thursday, an hour and a half. On Wednesday, I have 2 hours for another different company that I have. So I have all types of people on Zoom all the time. So I just like to have a chit chat and see. I hope on the recording people can see the chat. That would be nice, but I don't think they can. So they'll just have to look at us. But I feel like we had a good experience. I will definitely do this again next week. I'll just block off my calendar for this this block, and then hopefully I can bring some more opportunities there. Somebody says Ryan Reynolds. Where's Jacob? Jacob looks like Ryan Reynolds. That's funny. I didn't see him. His camera is up right now. But yeah, Tobias, thank you for being here. Have a good day. Yeah, there he is. Welcome back. They're saying you look like Ryan Reynolds. I kind of see it. I kind of see it. No, it's all good. All right, guys. If we don't have anything else, we're going to call it a day for now. I will post another update video on our progress on Monday. So every Monday, you'll get a video recap of all the progress we've made on the development side of things. That will also be when we discuss the tickets. So when you guys shoot in support tickets in terms of feedback, I will say what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. We cannot do everything, right? But then next week on Thursday, your wallets will be whitelisted. The flow is you need to create an account that is connected with your wallet. So as soon as you connect your wallet, you've already all provided your wallet. They're already in a database and it will automatically give you access. Then as soon as the NFTs are actually being minted, we're going to lock everybody out. All the trackers get reset, unfortunately. And then you need to re-engage to check if the NFT checker is working, hopefully. And if everything does work, then from there on out, you can build it out. So I definitely recommend you to take some time to play around with it. There are already some quite interesting features. Things that, for example, will take more time is we have daily vesting, weekly vesting, monthly vesting, quarterly, annually. Things like daily linear vesting, it's a lot of logic to code, so that we'll postpone that. It will take about like 2 to 4 weeks to deliver those type of things. You will notice that there might be some situations where you have specific requests, which you can file to us. But if 99 of people don't have that request, we'll just put it on the sideline for now and just pick up all the major milestones first, which I think makes sense, right? So anything you guys would have to share, we would pick up. Anybody on YouTube, thank you for listening to our amazing story. If you would like to be part of this community, I have to disappoint you. You missed out already. You would have to wait a month or 2 months, but then you can be as cool as us and hang out with this amazing community. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.